All right, well, I'm gonna go first, of course. And before I start my piece, I would love to just to thank God for the opportunities and how grateful I am to be here. You don't get to, kids like me don't get to experience this every day. He's talking in front of a few people like y'all. So, I guess I'm gonna start with my story first. In middle school, I wasn't the best person. You don't. I wasn't the most open person. I mean, obviously, our family would probably disagree. They'd all say I'm a nice kid, but I never really agreed with that. But until freshman year, you see on your schedule list that you see this class that you never even saw in the classes to begin with. You think, what the heck is this class? And first, there's a second day, you walk in, you see a overly positive teacher that just greets everyone with a smile, and it's just, oh my, she was hilarious. And she introduces the way this class is and what you will learn and take from this class. And it was kind of like, am I really going to take all this from this class? And by the end of it, you do. And things like talking to other people, getting to know more about yourself, feel more confident in yourself, something that I know from personal experience a lot of kids in high school don't really feel. They don't have the confidence in themselves. And this class kind of empowers the student voice and can make them do something like this where they can sit up and talk to you guys. And it also builds the teacher relationships, the student-teacher relationships, something that, not every kid gets to do. And they get to love each other, and you learn to respect and talk to each other in a manner where it doesn't disturb others. So this class, by all means, I think should be taken by everyone.
Okay, I guess it's my turn now. So when I was 6 years old, I was adopted with my younger brother from Ukraine. It was a very poor country, and I lived in an orphanage that was terrible. In the orphanage, you couldn't call anything your own, and you never had people there that honestly cared about you. You were just another one of the 60 to 100 kids that they just had to watch. So after I was adopted, it took a while for me to start trusting people and to start putting my walls down that I had already built up being in the orphanage for years. But eventually I started to. And it wasn't until 9th grade when I took this class that my walls just completely came down. Like John said, when I walked in that class, he was in the same class with me that time. When I walked in, the teacher was so hyper, and she was so excited and enthusiastic, and she was excited to meet all of us and to get to know us. And I went up to John because I knew him from middle school, and I met Miss Reynolds, and I told John, I was like, this is gonna be fun. She was crazy. But the environment that this community citizenship program creates for you, it's an environment where you can be who you are, no matter what you are. And it's an environment where you can have tough, difficult discussions, and you know that whatever is said in that room, it stays in that room. It stays all between you guys. My dad is a police officer, and the first year that I took the community citizenship program, it was about the time that the whole police brutality thing was happening. And kids would give me nasty looks. They would make nasty comments to me about my dad being a police officer, and every time I turned on the news, it was another story about how a police officer was killed while he was eating breakfast or lunch in the car. And I had a student in my class who he felt very strongly, and he didn't really like police officers. But because that class created an environment where we can actually sit down and we could respect each other's opinions, we were actually able to sit down and have that conversation where I found out why he didn't like the police officers, and he found out why it was so important to me because my dad is one. And then when we were able to get that flow of that important conversation going, other students started joining in as well. And what's really important is that this program it works for everybody. There are some classes or some programs that work for certain races, certain cultures. But this class, it works for everybody, because you can't say that, an Asian person wouldn't do this or an Asian person wouldn't say that, because this class, it's for everybody. It works for everyone. And we did a unit where we worked on self-discovery and about who we were and stuff. And like I said, when I was adopted from Ukraine, I didn't I grew up not really knowing who I was or where I came from. I saw all the different kids around me who pretty much really knew where they came from, knew their heritage, all that. And I would see advertisements on TV for like the 23andMe or like Ancestry.com and stuff, and I didn't know any of that because I felt like I couldn't actually get that. But when we did this section in that community citizenship program and we came back into class and we talked about what we had found, I realized that I wasn't alone and that there was so many people around me who were going through the same exact thing as I was. And having that feeling that I wasn't alone, that many people were going through the same thing, it finally let me break all my walls down because I saw that they understood what I was going through. They're going through the same thing, and it's a complete judgment-free zone where everyone accepts everyone for who they are, no matter who they are, no matter how many flaws they have.